Hello everyone, it's Jessica and I'm back with another video for you for the ThermOWeb design team, and today I am showing you this layout that I made for Sweets and Drinks Week, which I chose to do a birthday theme layout because I have some pictures of my husband and his mom during one of his birthdays, and he was gonna eat this gorgeous cake. So I chose a cut file by Pear Tree Cut Files, which is one of the other design teams that I'm part of, and I actually cut the file out here, as you can see, on the peel and stick toner sheets, and then I ran it through my hot laminator using the Maker Forte transfer sheets with the foil color Heart of the Ocean, which is just absolutely beautiful up close and in person. It's so pretty, and it really pops on this layout on this 49 and Market paper. So as you can see, it's super sparkly. I hope my camera here does it justice and you can tell that it's really sparkly and pretty, but it's a very pretty shade of blue and I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorites. So I am just going to put this here. This is one of the adhesive transfers that were previously released for, I forget when these were released, but it's a few months ago, and I'll link them below too because I think they're still in the shop. But these are the Happy Birthday Sentiments adhesive transfers, and I'm going to put that right on my page, and it's running through my hot laminator right now while I'm adding the photos. There, it just came out. What I did here is I ran it through once after I took that backing piece off and put it down on my page. I ran it through once to heat up that adhesive and transfer the adhesive design to my page, and then what you saw just there was me taking it out of the laminator and putting the foil piece on top of it to overlay over the whole thing, and then I ran it back through, and here's that finished result. You can see I have ran it through. There was a little piece in one of the letters on the H, I believe it was, that kind of didn't transfer too well. It kind of filled the whole letter in, so all I did was I took my tweezers and I just kind of scratched that bit off, and it scratched off just fine. So it must have just been a little piece that was left over that wasn't really adhered to my page, but it was stuck on there. So all I did was just scratch it off. And then here I'm just going to back my cut file. I'm actually using a kit by yet another one of my design teams that I'm on, sorry. The Not Just for Boys Kit Club, I'm using one of their kits. So everything's pretty coordinated except this 49 and Market background paper. I pulled that out of my stash. And these papers here that I'm backing the cut file with are from that kit. So I'm just showing you just kind of how I manually back my cut files, which is I just kind of pull the letter off of my, my mat from my cutting machine, and I cut around it a little bit. And these are the peel and stick toner sheets, so they have a backing on them, so they are sticky on the back. So you don't have to use glue or anything, but I do have my Ultra Bond liquid glue there just in case I needed it, in case it didn't stick for some reason. And I didn't end up needing it because these stuck to that toner sheet just fine. So I'm just peeling off the backing and sticking all of my letters down. And I think you did see me a little bit earlier. I did pull out my cutting tool, my it's kind of like an X-Acto knife by Olfa, I believe it's called. And I pulled that out to cut where my letters were because I didn't want to peel the backing off of the whole thing while I was trying to work with the cake letters. So I kind of just lightly cut that backing piece, not the whole thing, just so that I didn't peel the backing off of the Let's Eat letters, because I didn't want the stickiness to go away from me messing with it or get stuck to something else while I was trying to adhere the cake letters. So there I have all the cake letters applied, and I'm going to mat all of my photos with some papers from Simple Stories, actually. I think this is the Hearth and Home collection or something like that. Yeah, Hearth and Home. I pulled that collection out because I thought that collection actually matches these papers quite perfectly. And I knew that collection had a lot of embellishments in it regarding recipes and kind of home life and things like that. So I thought maybe I could find something regarding cake and birthdays. And I do find a few things to go on this layout, so it works out pretty good for me. So I'm just kind of throwing things in here. I'm looking through my embellishments from the kit that I'm using. And I think I am going to do one more thing with the adhesive transfers. The Happy Birthday one I did in Gina K Fancy Foils. I did Glimmering Gold for that one. And I think I'm going to go back in with the same color and put some balloons on this layout too, because I feel like it still needs a little something maybe to the right of the eat word. So I think I'm going to pop some balloons in over there. So here I'm peeling off the other backing piece off of the rest of the cut file. Then I'm just going to use my tape runner to just apply some adhesive to the cake letters, since they aren't sticky in themselves, because those are the pattern papers that I backed the file with. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that down on my page. I'm going to make sure that it's lined up with my T-square ruler first. I like to make sure everything's in line. And then I'm just going to continue to embellish. I'm going to stick things down. I'm going to find some other cute little stickers and things from the collection and the kit that I'm using to go on this, just to kind of fill in. And that one says time to eat, which is just perfect for this. I'm also pulling out some birthday blast. So I'm using quite a bit of product. If you've watched my videos in the past, I am not one to mix collections much. I typically stick to just one collection because everything coordinates nicely for me. Everything matches. I don't have to think about it much. Here I am pulling out some Vicky Bouton stickers as well. I'm kind of pulling out just anything and everything that I can find for this. I don't have a lot of birthday kits that I like. I have a couple, but I'm not particularly fond of them, so I don't use them a lot. I like to use other kits that kind of coordinate as birthday theme or that fit into that theme, like these die cuts from the kit, the Not Just for Boys Kit Club. That one has birthday embellishments, so it was perfect for this. And that's kind of what I'm doing on this layout. I'm just mixing and matching different collections. So don't be scared to do that, because sometimes that kind of makes the best types of layouts, whenever you can mix and match things together. And different kits will coordinate well with each other, but you just kind of have to play around with it a little bit. So this one works out fine. I'm just going through these little die cuts in the Simple Stories collection to find anything else that I want to add. I'm going to pop up some of these with some of the 3D foam squares because I want a little bit more dimension to this layout, because I did choose to keep my cut file flat instead of my normal thing, which is to pop it up with some foam tape. So I chose to keep it flat. So I want to make sure that I give this layout some kind of dimension somewhere. And then I'm just using my tape runner here to adhere all the other little bits. So pretty much the adhesive that I use on this layout is 3D foam squares, my memory XL tape runner, and then I also use I use some of the Ultra Bond glue too, but you'll see that here in a minute. So here I actually decided to go in and use balloons. I want to add some balloons by that eat word because it still looks bare right there to me, and I need to fill in that spot. So again, I'm just grabbing a piece of, it's actually just a scrap piece of white cardstock. I don't know if you saw me matting my photos earlier, but my photos were matted with it as well. And it's just a piece of pattern paper, but I flipped it over and I'm using the other side because it wasn't a pattern that I particularly feel like I'm going to use. So that's how I recycle my pattern papers that I'm not going to use that aren't double-sided. I use them to mat my photos. So here I'm using the Ultra Bond glue. As you saw, I was putting on some sequins here from this kit while my adhesive transfer was running through my laminator, and then I'm just going to fussy cut that out. So super simple there. I'm using that same Fancy Foils by Gina K in Glimmering Gold for the balloons. And then I'm going to go back to gluing my sequins down. I'm going to fast forward most of the sequins because you don't need to watch me apply them throughout my entire layout. So here I'm just finishing this up by adding my dates down. So thank you guys so much for watching this layout. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will link everything below for you if you want to purchase anything that I've used. And again, thank you so much for watching. Bye.